Hello, hello, this is Fox RedSky. I am your astrologer, your life coach, and I am the host for Astrology Obsessed. On this channel, I kind of share my passion, my obsession with astrology, and I really get to kind of go into the nitty-gritty of things, kind of educate and just share my love. So today's subject is your ascending and descending. So your ascending and descending, if you haven't looked at up more in depth on the houses, you can go to my link below, and I have a video all about the houses. But you're ascending and you're descending, so let's talk a little bit about that. So in astrology, of course, you have your planets and your houses, and the houses are your roadmap to your life. And your ascending sign, your rising sign, that is also called, is in the first house. The first house represents you. It represents your personality. It represents all the things having to do with the attachment of the ego in this form as we incarnate into this body. You know, we are spirit, but to incarnate, there has to be a part of us that is the I, that is me. So if you can imagine a little baby being born into the world, and the first thing that they learn is, I'm me, I'm John, I'm James, I'm Fox, whatever it is, I am this person. And so that's what the whole first house is really dedicated to, is the first stage in our, as if you could imagine a child being born. So the ascending sign is the sign that it is in the horizon the moment that you were born. The moment you were born, this was the sign, the zodiac sign that was coming up over the horizon, and it was there. So your ascending sign, what it tells the world, what it shows the world, is who you are. This is the face that you show to the world. This is like the lens that you let the world see you. This is your protection right here. This is your little, you might have all these other layers of who you are. You might have this incredible Mercury, this mind that's brilliant, and you might have this, all these different things that make up who you are, this love language, this, that, but your rising or your ascendant is really what the world sees when they look at you, when they see who you are. And my ascendant is Cancer. So for me, I'm a very nurturing, loving person. And so what everybody sees when they first meet me is this nurturing, loving, very empathetic person who is willing to listen, to sit down, wants to take care of everybody, kind of the mother hen kind of figure. And that's what they see, and that's what the world, that's the first image that people are going to see. Now, I do believe, this is my belief, that as we grow, and especially as we get older, we are always going to be our ascending sign, but also then our MC starts to ring, and that is also another face that we show to the world. So our ascendant sign, and opposite of that, what is the opposite of that? Well, you have your descending sign. Dun dun dun. And I go into another video about all of the houses, but if your ascending is the first house, then your descending is the seventh house. And the seventh house is really where we also start to see, okay, we grow from a baby into childhood and into adolescence, and this is where we learn responsibility. And this is in the seventh house, we start to go past the ego and to the other, right? And to the other. So the ascendant is what we are proud to show. These are the qualities. This is who I am, world. So what is the descendant? Well, it's the things we don't want to show. It is our shadow side, actually. This is the side that we kind of want to hide. Or we're not even want to be consciously aware of those things within ourselves, And I'll use myself as an example. My ascendant in Cancer wants to give and share to the world and just be this big, loving, doting, motherly figure, right? That wants to, sometimes, save everybody, save all the puppies and the unicorns and everything. But my descendant sign is in Capricorn, which is not those things at all. It's actually the opposite. So these are the opposite qualities that are a little bit more cold and calculating and money kind of things. So what's interesting is those are the parts that we actually frown upon. The qualities that are in our descending, we actually look down on someone, we're like, I would never do those things. But in fact, we do those things. It's just that we haven't really accepted it about ourselves. We haven't really looked at ourselves and said, okay, well, I do have these things. Also, what's very interesting is because the first house, and the ascendant is having to do with the self, right? And the seventh house has to do, which is where the descendant is, has to do with relationships. So in our relationships, who are our greatest teachers, our relationships are our greatest teachers. Business, romantic, whatever it is, these are our teachers. We are going to be drawn to people with all these qualities that we're like, no, they're not inside of me. This is not who I am. We're actually going to draw that in our partnerships. So a lot of times, the reason why partnerships and relationships fail is because these are still traits that we haven't learned to integrate within ourselves in a healthy manner. The only way to evolve and to really become our highest and greatest version of ourselves is by looking at the shadow, by looking at the darkness within us, and then incorporating it in a good and healthy way. Also, when something isn't acknowledged, when something isn't, it's kind of like you're not giving it that attention, then it's going to be more prevalent in your life. It's going to be more prevalent on it's either conscious or subconscious. You decide. You can choose to live and blame everybody for your problems and blame all these people that you are being drawn to and like, it's not my fault, not my fault, not my fault. Or you can look at it and be like, well, maybe this is my fault. Yes, and look at the things that you also secretly want and you secretly desire. So there is part of me that secretly wants to be able to, think about the long game and to build something that's going to last. It's the stronger, money, power, all those things. There is part of me that wants that is a little bit not as loving as I'd like to be, So, but there's nothing wrong with that as long as you do it in a healthy way. Everything is about balance, and everything is about growth, and that's what all astrology is. All astrology is looking at the patterns in your own life and being able to really and honestly, with your most authentic, your full self, and that when we start living in our authenticness, when we start living in our full self, that's how we change the world. We don't change it from the outside in, we change it from the inside out. So I know I kind of got off topic, but that is your ascending and your descending. And I hope that you got a little bit more information, you kind of get a little bit more clarity. If you have any questions about your ascending or your descending, or if you want to share with me your ascending or descending sign, I'd be more than happy to answer it in the comment section below. Please be sure to subscribe. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, feel free to suggest them. And I want to just send you all the beauty and the love that this world has to offer, and I just want to share with you my gratitude and my thanks. Thanks again for tuning in.